Hi there, students. To call the shots. Okay, if you call the shots, you dictate which course of action is going to take place. You say what should happen. So, round here, my mum calls the shots. Okay, to be in charge, to give the orders, to make the decision, to call the shots. So yeah, if you call the shots, you're in a position to be able to make the decisions that will influence a situation. Yeah, the person who controls or organizes a situation is the person who calls the shots. You're the boss around here, so you get to call the shots. Yeah, you're in charge. You're the person who calls the tune, who wears the trousers, if you like, who calls the shots, you're the person who decides what's going to happen. You dictate the agenda, how the situation is going to proceed. You are in authority. My staff has to do what I say because I'm the boss and I call the shots round here. My mum calls the shots at home. She's the person who makes all the decisions. In that doctor's office, it seems to be the receptionist that actually calls the shots. Okay. Why are you always in charge? Why do you always have to call the shots? Who made you boss? Okay, Sally always wants to call the shots. And I don't really like being bossed around by her. I don't really get along well with them because I don't like her calling the shots, her deciding what's going to happen, what's going on. So this is the person who rules, who has power, who decides what's going to happen. I'll be glad to give you a hand, but I don't want to call the shots. I don't want to be responsible for it. In the UK, is it the Prime Minister who calls the shots, or who else? Who else is it who calls the shots? Do you think there are various big businesses or banks that call the shots? Well, yeah, they're the people who are in charge, who give the orders. Okay, so this is it. This is the person who is in a position to tell other people what to do. I was thinking, when you make a film, it's the film director, it's the director who calls the shots. And I was wondering if that is actually the origin of this, of calling the shots. Because the director of the film, he calls the shots. He says, this is the shot that you're going to take. And that would be another way of calling the shots, of laying down the law, of ruling the roost, of being in the saddle, of being in control. Okay, so I'm not in a position to call the shots round here. I think really it's the bank who calls the shots. In Afghanistan, it's the Taliban that now call the shots. I'm like the I'm like the ringleader, and I call the shots. Okay, now it's time for you to let me call the shots. It was a job in which I was able to call the shots because I really knew what I was doing. Okay, so yeah, I was I knew what orders to give. The British would never stand by and let the European Union call the shots. Maybe that's one of the reasons for Brexit. Okay, so when everybody wants to be to be chief, wants to be boss, and there are too many people wanting to call the shots, then that's when problems start. So formality, I would say this phrase is probably more American than British, but you can use it in both. I think I'm going to give it a 3.5, a 4 in formality. Use informally, use in a semi-formal conversation. Semi-formal writing, just about, but it's really rather informal. So, to call the shots.